welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing a review video. I will be demonstrating and giving my first impressions and my final thoughts at the end of the video. So if you want to see how this application goes with the Makeup Forever HD Skin in the shade 2N26 Y315, then please keep on watching. What I'm going to do is prime my face. I'm only going to do my right side, and the left side is going to stay unprimed for this wear test. And I'm going to be using the Pro Filter Hydrating Primer from Fenty Beauty. It's a little mini one. And I got the small one just to try it out. It feels good on the skin. All right, that gives you like a nice little hydration. You see the difference? Wow, my face really needed that. So the foundation we're applying today is the Makeup Forever HD Skin, and I got the tiny bottle. Okay, focus. And I picked up the shade 2N26 or Y315. I have no idea if this is gonna be too dark for me or not. I just went with what I thought would work for me online. And this is the bottle. How cute is that? I'm gonna just shake it up real quick. And the cap, it just comes right off. It's pretty big. And it has a pump. How cute is this? It's so tiny. I think this is only like 12 ounces, right? It's 12 milliliters or 0.40 fluid ounces. So let's see how much. I'm gonna do a brush on this side of my face. I'm gonna use the Real Techniques brush, and I'm gonna apply it directly to my brush, so I don't have to worry about dirtying my hands. So in 3 pumps, it came out, you know, pressing down. And this is what the foundation shade looks like. It might be a little too dark for me, but we're gonna make it work. Like Tim Gunn says, make it work. So I'm just stippling on. I'm gonna put a little bit more, like a half of a pump, so not even a full pump. And so you can get the forehead. So I like to just stipple on the makeup, and then I just kind of start, you know, smoothing it on. And I don't think this has a fragrance. I think what I'm smelling is just my brush from when I cleaned it. And that literally melted into my skin. I mean, can you see? Like, that just, wow. Like, I think I did a really good match. Like, you can see a little bit, but not too much. Wow, I like how this feels so far. I don't think I need another application. What do you guys think? Like, I might need a little bit more here, just for my cheeks, but not bad. So I'm gonna get a little bit more. So I would need 2 full pumps for one side of my face using the brush. And I should have gotten a mirror, which I keep forgetting I do. You know, like a handheld mirror. So when I apply the foundation, so I could look for any imperfections, you know, like any spots that I miss. But I really like using this brush for applying foundation because I feel like it really just buffs everything in. I mean, I have a couple of brushes, but this is one of my favorites, and it's very inexpensive, and you can really pick it up anywhere, you know, like Target, Ulta. So that's it right there. Wow, that looks really good. Like, my skin is still peeking through there, so I don't know what's going on there, but that's not bothering me. But it looks really good. It feels extremely lightweight on the face. I really like how that looks. It looks perfect. So now I'm gonna do the sponge on this side of my face. I'm gonna use a beauty blender, and I haven't used a beauty blender in a very long time. I just recently picked this one up. I never had the shade either. So full pump on the bottom, and we're just gonna put that on. And of course, I wet my beauty blender before I started. I didn't squeeze out as much water as possible. So you can see the difference in application when you use a sponge. So that is one pump on my face with the sponge. So this looks obviously more fuller coverage because I did put 2 pumps and use a brush. So this sheared it out really well, and I like the way this looks too. So this would be nice for like those no makeup days where you just want to put like a light layer of foundation. So I really like how this looks so far. But for the sake of the video, I'm going to put 2 pumps because I did 2 pumps on this face, just so we on this side of my face so we can see the difference with a sponge. And I'm just gonna, where I think I need more, and go. Yeah, this doesn't smell like anything to me. I'm not picking up any particular smell. I think what I'm smelling is just the cleanser that I use to clean my beauty blender. I know it doesn't look clean, but it is. It's just stained. I'm gonna try it as much as I can and get it out, but I don't think I'm going to because I've tried a couple of times and this is the best it's gonna get, but I know that it's clean. Okay, so this is what the sponge side looks like. I had to think for a minute. And I think I just have to blend it a little bit more, but I think it looks really good. I'm trying not to touch my white tank top in the process because you all know once you wear white, you always get it dirty. So I think that looks really, really nice. This side, I just find it funny how it just did not cover. But this side, it seems more covered. I don't know if that's to do with the primer. So I've never used this primer before, but both sides look very different. So again, I'm gonna show you, this is the side with the brush. And this is the side with the sponge. And it's just 2 pumps on each side. So I'm gonna wear this for a couple hours. So I'm gonna just do a little bit of makeup and wear it for at least an hour or 2. And then I'll come back and we'll see what my thoughts are about the foundation. But that's it right there. So that's the sponge side again, my left side. And this is my right side with the Real Techniques brush. So I will be back later. It's been 2 hours and I just want to check in real quick to show you how the foundation is wearing. So this is the side that I use my brush. A little bit of creasing, but it's to be expected because, you know, my age. But I don't feel like it's come off at all. And I did set it with a setting spray. I used this one from Huda Beauty. Hope it's focusing. So yeah, I like it. It's nice and light. Really moisturizes my face. And this is the side with the sponge. And as you can see, nothing has come off. Like it's there. You see I'm getting up real close so you guys can see. Even my nose doesn't come off and around my mouth area either, even though I've already eaten. It looks exactly the same way I put it on. So that's the 2-hour check-in. I will be back later to give you my final thoughts because I want to wear it for a little bit longer. So I will see you then. Okay, so let's talk now about this foundation. First of all, how cute is this bottle? So cute. It's a mini bottle and this is 12 milliliters or 0.40 fluid ounces. And they have 6 of their shades in this size. This top right here, I think it's really good for you to take it off. It's very easy because it's like a rubber material. And on top of it, it has the emblem or the design of Makeup Forever makeup. So I really like that. And it comes with a pump, which you guys know a pump is always makes it so much easier. So I think this is the perfect size if you're gonna travel or if you just want to give this foundation a shot. Hopefully they'll have a shade that'll match you in this size. They also have, in the full size, they have a total of 40 shades. I'm just looking at my notes. And those come in 1.01 ounces or 30 milliliters. And the price for the bigger ones are $43. And for the mini one is $22. Excuse me. So for me, after putting on this foundation, I've worn it a couple of hours. I feel like it has not budged at all, which I am really surprised because, you know, foundation comes off at some point. Even around my mouth area, like I reapplied my lipstick, it's still all intact. And I think that it looks exactly the same as when I put it on. The only difference is that I feel like for me, because I have dry skin, I feel like as the day went on, it just shows like I have more texture, especially in this area, which I really don't have. It didn't accentuate like, you know, fine lines or anything like that, which I thought was great, because where I'm more on the mature side, you know, I'm 49 years old, that can happen. You can get a lot of creasing. So this is typical. I didn't get any here, which is good, or on my forehead, because I'm a very animated person. When I talk, I move my eyes and stuff like that. So that was really nice. So I wore comfortably on my face. I do like that. I feel like in application, I feel like a brush is your best bet if you want to do a very full coverage, because when I did one application, you know, with the brush on this side of my face, I feel like it pretty much covered everything. And then you could just go in with like a half a pump and just get in those problem areas if you have any. Now, for those of you who want a more sheer to, you know, light medium coverage, then go with a sponge and then just dab it where you need it and really blur it out, and you'll be fine, because it's the side I did the sponge with, and you'll be fine, you know. So awesome that it's very versatile that way. And I feel that even without a primer, because this side doesn't have a primer, I felt that it lasted just as long as the side that has the primer. So that's awesome. So for those of you who don't really like to use primer, I think you'll be fine with this foundation. And for those of you who like using primer, I think it'll work for you as well. It did not have a fragrance, which I loved, because I really hate when foundations have like a strong scent of anything, especially if it's floral. I don't like that. It feels very lightweight on the skin. I really like that. I feel like I'm actually wearing nothing, and it looks very natural. I know you probably don't think it does, but because I put a whole bunch of makeup on. But if I had just done like, you know, my eyebrows filling in and just put on mascara, I think it would have been totally fine. No one would have even known I had on foundation. And then I find that this foundation is best for combo, oily, or normal skin. Now, even though it lasted all day for me, like, you know, it's held in place, I wouldn't recommend this foundation for someone who has dry skin, because of, like I said, it made me look very textured. It didn't look, you know, smooth, you know what I mean? That's where I know where foundation is not good for my skin, because I start to look like I have texture, and it starts to look like you can tell I have makeup on. It starts to look cakey. So that's just the thing for me in my experience. So if you have dry skin, I cannot recommend this foundation. But if you have normal, oily, or combination skin, you should definitely get this foundation, because this has a very great lasting power, and it doesn't go anywhere. And like I showed you, this is my side that did not have a primer, and this is the side with a primer, and they both look exactly the same. Now I'm going to read you some of the facts that they put on, you know, the Sephora website, because this is where I got the foundation. So it says, the new and improved version of Ultra HD foundation is powered by technology that enhances performance and undetectability for skin that looks like skin under any light. I 100% agree with those claims. Comfortable and easy to apply. This medium to full coverage foundation flexes with skin for no caking or settling into fine lines. HD is non-comedogenic, waterproof, sweatproof, and comes in more sustainable packaging. So I have to agree with that it flexes with your you know, moves with your skin. It doesn't cause creasing or anything like that, because like I said, my lash lines are a little bit pronounced, and I don't feel like they were more pronounced after putting on this foundation. So I do agree with that claim. And I like that it's more sustainable, so you can definitely recycle, because we should really be recycling more, in my opinion. Their clinical results, I'm reading all this from Sephora, says, based on instrumental tests conducted on 20 people, 98% agree that color did not change after drying. I have to agree with that. This shade looks exactly the same as when I put it on. It did not oxidize one bit. So definitely get your exact match, and I think it will be totally fine. The next claim is 95% agree that complexion looked smoother. I would have to say that when I first applied it for myself, it did look smoother. It looked very like skin. But like I said, I have very dry skin, and I feel like my skin is just sucking it up, and now it's looking more textured. But from far away, I think it still looks amazing. It's just up close that I'm like, I look like I'm wearing makeup. And then the next claim is 94% agree that foundation did not cake or cling to patches throughout the day. I have to agree with that, because this tends to be my problem area, my chin. I get very dry in this area, and it did not cling. It didn't skip, because sometimes when I try foundations, like this area here, like it won't be consistent. Like I felt like when I put it on all over with the sponge and the brush, there was not one spot that did not get foundation, and it didn't look patchy at all. So I do agree with that as well. And then the other thing it says here is what they describe it. What it is: an undetectable liquid foundation that blurs and covers imperfections for 24 hours, powered by a micro skin system that syncs with the skin for true to skin finish. So they're saying, and what I said earlier, best for normal oily combination skin. You get a medium coverage and the finish looks natural, and the formulation is liquid. So I agree with that. So I absolutely love this foundation. I think it's great. But for myself personally, where I don't really wear foundation on a daily, I can't recommend this to someone who has dry skin, like I said earlier. And because of the way it looks now towards the end of the day, which I think it's great, I'm still going to return it to Sephora because I know I'm not going to use this foundation again. Any foundation that I have to put a little extra work into it, I'm not going to keep in my what's that called, my collection, because I know I'm not going to reach for it. But I do like this foundation. I think it's really great. So I highly recommend it to those of you who have normal, oily, or combination skin. But for my dry skin people, do not use this foundation unless, well, you want to try it on, see how it goes for you. But I can't recommend it if you have dry skin. So anyways, those are my thoughts on this foundation. I hope you guys found that helpful, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.